City of Light by Lane's End's Quality Road. City of Light was a 4-time Grade 1 winner, earned over $5.6 million, and arguably was one of the best middle distance horses we've seen. Just think of that huge Pegasus World Cup and the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. As a son of Quality Road, he's stamping his foals with serious size, scope, and that same turn of foot he flashed on the track. You see it on multiple surfaces from multiple stakes winners like Mimi Kakushi in Dubai, Eyewitness sprinting on the grass, and the star of the show, Fierceness. The 2-year-old champion was absolutely sensational in the Travers, and he nearly stole the show in the Breeders' Cup Classic with a performance people are still talking about. It really feels like City of Light's offspring can do it all: sprint, route, dirt, turf, and that's a big reason why the buzz around him is so strong. City of Light comes into 2025 with arguably the best horse in the world. Michael, I can imagine that every time Fierceness runs, or any of City of Light's offspring, you've got that feeling of a proud papa.
I do. Obviously, it took a little while for him to come to hand. I don't think he was in the early stages of his 2-year-olds. I think they were a little bit backward. Probably needed a lot of time to mature. And I think now you're seeing the Fiercenesses, the Formidable Mans, the Chop Chops, things like that. Battle of Normandy, horses that are starting to get good with racing, with some age on them. But yeah, it is nice to open up the TDN or any racing publication and see that City of Lights had another rising star or a winner or a 2-year-old champion. Any of those types of things. It's very gratifying. Yes.
Are you shocked that, I don't think you're shocked that that Fierceness is as good as he is on the dirt. Are you shocked that City of Light is getting the grass runners that he's getting?
I'm pleasantly surprised. He has thrown certainly his fair share of turf runners. Chop Chop, as I mentioned earlier, Battle of Normandy, Formidable Man won the Del Mar Derby the other day, or the Hollywood Derby. I guess he's won both of them. So I guess no problem with that. But yeah,
he just won in derbies. He's a derby. He's a derby producing sire.
Yeah. A little bit surprised, glad to see it. Gives him a little bit more of an international kind of appeal, a dual surface threat, that type of thing.
And then the last question about City of Light is what was it that made him so special? And do you see those traits in horses like Formidable Man and Fierceness?
I think his mind was certainly one of his weapons. Obviously, he was a large horse, a lot of scope, and had a lot of gears. With racing, he picked things up and just got better and better and better. And unfortunately, after the Pegasus, he was retired a very healthy horse. I would have liked to have seen what he would have done at 5. But I think his mind and his willingness to kind of train, and he could take a lot of training. And I'm seeing that with his offspring as well.
Todd, City of Light is off to a pretty good start. And I think some might say thanks to you and Fierceness, his best son so far. I know you're always at these sales looking at different horses. What are some of the things that maybe City of Light and Fierceness happen to have in common?
Well, I think first and foremost is their ability. The talent level is super high, and I think both similar type horses in that they have a very high cruising speed and the ability to carry it over a distance of ground.
With City of Light, do you find yourself with the success you've had with him, with Minty, when you go to the sales, maybe take an extra little peek at the hips that are by City of Light?
I mean, he's a phenomenal stallion in terms of, just the quality of the individuals that he gets. The first time I saw him, the thing that really struck me was how much he resembled Quality Road. And the thing that I think special about Quality Road and City of Light and hopefully Fierceness when he goes to stud is they have the ability to get you that freak. They had that freakish talent, and they're the types of horses. And even going back to Quality Road's sire, Elusive Quality, same thing. Those horses, they did some things on the racetrack that very few horses do, and they've been able to.
Javier, I thought City of Light was an outstanding racehorse. His Pegasus was impressive, but I loved your decision on him in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile from that inside post to send him away from there and take the race to everyone else. What do you remember the most about City of Light?
I believe that's the first time I get on the horse, City of Light, in the Breeders' Cup. I like the way he did it. Inside pulls. He was heavy favorite horse. Um, you gotta be ready when the breeders go. You gotta break good and clean, get a good possession. You have to be aggressive. You have to put your horses because that's the best horses in the ground, and you have to show up at that moment. And he did it. He did it. I like it the way he broke out of the gate, very quick, very light horse, light feet, quick enough to put it in the good pace early in the pace. And I like the way he finished. Very impressive. I really like that horse the way he did it, and the Breeders' Cup. Plus, the more he impressed me, it was in the Pegasus World Cup. It was heavy, heavy rain all day long. And you question yourself all day long, is gonna like a sloppy track or don't? But when they're really good horses, they always show up. Sloppy, polytrack, turf, everything. And he did it. And it's that kind of type of horse, he show up in the sloppy try, he splash, he gallop it, and he did it in the fast pace early, had to use it a lot to get a position the first time because he got short time. But I like that he moved, the ability, the skill. When you ask it, he give it to you right away. And put me a good spot early in the first stage, and I like the way he finished.
Johnny, let's talk a little bit about City of Light, and who better to talk to than the person who rides the best that City of Light has produced so far in Fierceness, the 2-year-old champion, the Breeders' Cup Classic runner-up, a Travers champion. Tell me a little bit about what makes Fierceness so special.
Man, he's hard. I love this horse. I mean, he's hard, shows everything, though, he I mean, and now that he's, basically growing up, I think, and the way he does everything, but he's hard. He has all heart, man. Whatever you want him to do with him, whatever you want to place him, if he allows you, to do what you wanted to do, that's what I like about him, though. And I think he's growing up from the 2-year-old to the 3-year-old, and it showed what he did on the Travers, though. It's like, uh, what a special horse, definitely.
Is there any comparisons with his full brother, Minty, that you also wrote? Is there anything between the two of them?
I think they're two different, and even that they're they're same mother. One will be more a sprinter, than the other one will be a horse that can go, the two turns. Though, Minty is going to be one of those horses going to be very, very quick. And I don't think so far, I don't think he'll go the distance unless he grows up, and know what to do later on. Very different horses, very mentality wise, personality is very different. And like I said, it's like Minty has that very speed more than Fierceness has. Yeah.
Well, City of Light's got to be proud of his old boy Fierceness, who's made his stallion career start off pretty remarkably with a 2-year-old champion, a Travers winner, a runner-up in the Breeders' Cup Classic with an unbelievable performance, and hopefully, fingers crossed, an outstanding 4-year-old year. Talk a little bit about City of Light and how he came to Lanes End.
So we actually sold City of Light as a yearling for Anne-Marie Farm. Lovely lady, Mrs. O'Neill, has a farm over in Paris, and he sold, I think it was in book 3, and we rang Mrs. O'Neill the morning that City of Light was about to sell, and just to see where we wanted to be on the reserve, and she said, well, Quality Road stud fee that year was 35,000, so let's set the reserve at 35,000. We were like, he's going over really well. I think we're going to make a lot more money than that. And she said, no, 35,000. So he went up in $5,000 increments all the way to $710,000. So I think he might have the record for being in the sales room for the longest period of time, seeing as he went all the way in $5,000 increments to 710,000.
I'm sure Michael McCarthy's arm was tired of raising his hand. I've noticed a lot of versatility out of City of Light, very similar to his sire Quality Road, where he'll get you a grass runner and he'll get you a dirt runner as well. I remember at one point handicapping a race where he had a grass horse in there, and I looked at some of his top 20 performers and felt like almost half of them had run well or won on the grass. Is it that athleticism you talked about with Quality Road passing down into City of Light to add to that ability to run on both surfaces?
I do. I believe that athletic horses can go on any surface, and he's very similar to his Stallion. To his sire. They're both big, tall, scopy horses with great shoulders. I'd nearly say that City Light nearly has a better hip than his father, and they look like athletes. They look like that they can just go on anything.